All right, I thought that was really neat. I thought a lot went into that, and may not seem like it, but I guess kind of now I have appreciation for shows or concerts and different things that have to happen. So spent a lot of time in different walkthroughs of events and orders and changing ideas up. So thought it went really good, and the number one thing was no injuries. So a lot of times you stand up here after a spring game and got to go through a medical report after this with the doctors and the trainer. So that's really good. But I just thought it was pretty neat to see guys compete and a lot of people doing different events, and then the team down and blue team I think down, and Joey to tag in and help the blue team out for the win was pretty neat. So I hope our fans enjoyed it. I know our players did, and so we actually have one more light practice probably Monday to officially end spring with the 15th day. But I thought it was a really good spring for what we wanted accomplished, maybe not what other people do as far as staying healthy and getting a lot of reps and work without a lot of tackling or injuries.
Questions? Lane, now that you've seen this happen, the Grove Bowl games, do you think this is something that could become popular around the country in lieu of traditional spring games?
I don't know. I think a lot of times with things, and it's not like I want that to happen. I don't care what other people do, and so I'm not trying to set a trend. But I think things like this sometimes in coaching, we're an old school profession, and when maybe people have had the idea of not tackling and no spring game and avoiding all that and depth charts and things that come with that. So I would think maybe people, once one person does it, it becomes easier. So, but that's obviously not my concern or motive.
Coach,
I would like people to keep playing spring games so we can watch all their players play in spring.
We'll keep it down low. Oh, yeah, obviously the approach this spring was, like you said, no injuries and just kind of keeping it a little bit lighter. Y'all feel like you accomplished and checked off all those boxes that you wanted to at the end of today?
I did. Obviously, there's tackling to work on when we get to fall and have our final roster. So I thought outside of that, guys, we accomplished a lot and did a lot of really good things.
Was Joey Chestnut as impressive in person as you thought?
I said after watching it, it's kind of one of those things, like until you really see it. And I actually felt this way kind of as a young kid, like NBA basketball. And then I remember like going down in one of the front rows for like warm-ups of a game and going like, wow, these guys are like way bigger and way more impressive. Or like in hockey, being down on the ice, on the glass. And I felt like it was like that. There was some appreciation watching on TV, but it's one of those events unless you're close up, it's a whole nother animal. I had a couple players by me say that that's one of the coolest things, most impressive things they've ever seen in their entire lives.
We'll take questions up top.
And we used Joey's story to motivate, because when I met with Joey today, I said, how'd you start? And he said, my first competition I lost. So, use that to motivate our guys, It's not how you start, it's how you finish. So Michael Jordan got cut from varsity, and Joey lost his first eating competition. So, got to stay with it. You never know. Now the guy's 15-time world champ.
Coach, a lot of fun events today. What was your favorite? What did you think the highlight was?
The hot dog eating competition by far, not just because he walked in, but Joey coming in to help the blue team get it coming. And if you think about it, not only did it help them come back, gave them a lot of momentum, and then a huge swing in the game after that. So.
Did you learn anything in particular from the team today?
There's a lot of technique to hot dog eating. I noticed that. And I didn't learn, but I knew they were competitive. It was really neat to see how competitive they are. And those guys put a lot of ideas in, a lot of play stuff. They walked through different schemes on offense and defense and different ideas. And shoot, I walked out this morning and Pete Golding's got his team, and he's teaching a flag pulling technique that they're walking through this morning and teaching. So I'd seen it all once I saw that.
Obviously, you talked about it on Tuesday, kind of what today would look like, and I'm sure y'all have been discussing it longer than that. But once the players kind of heard what today would be like, what was the kind of the mood in the locker room all week leading up to today?
Well, I tried to make sure we focused on practice Thursday and then got into the walkthroughs and stuff. But they had the draft, which they draft everybody in the organization, and that's pretty neat for the teams to be divided like that. They ate different pregame meals. So I thought the guys were really motivated by it and really energetic. And, we had some recruits here Tuesday's practice, Thursday's practice today. And, they seem to say the energy level is like nothing they've seen anywhere else.
We'll take place up top.
You kind of touched on it a little bit, but just a fun day like this where there's lots of kind of like mini games and challenges, but the competitiveness of your team was pretty noticeable from the very first play and the very first game. Just what do you feel like that says about this group and just how they're competitive at literally anything?
I think it's an old group. It's a veteran group that's played a lot, and I think that they are really, unique culture guys. And the whole last dance thing and guys coming in for their last year and staying for their last year. When you do that, you're putting a lot in. You're invested a lot, and so I really feel like they're not just here because they just happened to come here. That they came here to do something really special.
Lane, looking ahead a little bit, obviously transfer portal opening up next week. What do your next 3 or 4 days look like?
Like I said, we still have one practice Monday, exit meetings with players and stuff, and and then free agency opens. But people are already kind of announcing they're going into it, as you see around the country. So again, it's just where we are. Like I've said before, it probably sounds weird for me because I think we take advantage and we maximize the system that's in place as well as anybody, and it's benefited us as well as anybody around the country, but it's really a really poor system. And here we go again. Guys already announcing they just got somewhere in January. They're leaving again already, so they went and got paid. Took up spots, and it's not their fault. It's not the players' fault at all. This is a system that's created that they're utilizing. In the NFL, if you put 2 free agent windows a year and you could opt in every year or twice a year, the guys would do it. You can't get mad at the players, but any people, with any idea of what a system would create like that would never do this. So it is what it is.
And I know we've talked about what you just discussed a lot this spring. Do you have concerns about the guys that you landed in the winter maybe doing that? Where do you feel like you stand with your guys?
I think we're really good, but then again, you got to stay on all of it because, again, it's a system that, really gets players that may be really happy, maybe everything going great, and they got a relative or something, and they get pre-portaled and someone tells them, come here, they're locked out of going to the SEC, but outside of the SEC, come here and you'll make more money. So you got to be ready for it.
Up top.
Hey, Coach, just what went into you guys trying to want to do a non-traditional thing as opposed to what everyone else has been doing?
I think it, like you said at the beginning, really just thinking outside the box of injuries and really the value of spring games is, in my opinion, overrated because you don't show very many plays on offense or defense. Most people don't. Unless they're trying to win the, fans over or TV over for the game. But so you really don't get a whole lot out of it. So that's really how it started.
Anything else for Coach?
All right, guys. Thank you.